A little fawn suddenly runs towards a man, then kneels down in front of him. Why does the deer do that? 2 hours ago, a fawn that doesn't care about danger stops in front of a man's car. Refusing to leave, the little fawn looks at him with a worried expression and suddenly sits down. Then turns his head to the left. Seeing the fawn's actions, the man has to get out of the car to see what is going on. After seeing him get off the car, the fawn keeps running around him, then runs in front of the man and walks back and forth. The fawn constantly looks into the forest. The man thinks that there must be something in the forest that the little fawn is interested in. So, he follows the fawn into the forest. Unexpectedly, as he just enters the forest, he hears some screams in the distance, then looks in the direction of that sound. It turns out that the mother deer got caught in a net, so she is hanging on a tree and can't get out. The clever fawn just saved his mother's life. Without worrying about danger, he runs out of the forest to ask for help. What a sentient animal. Seeing this scene makes everyone feel touched. Saving one human life is worth more than building a pagoda with 7 stories. The man decides to save the mother deer immediately, but she keeps thinking about her baby. She wants to quickly get rid of this bond and take him out of here to avoid injury to the rescuer. The other people take a piece of cloth and cover the mother deer's head. The mother deer now knows that there are good people ahead to save her. So, stop struggling. If you are watching, please leave a comment, peace be with you, to cheer for our rescuers and the mother deer. Hope the 2 deers are all safe and healthy, under the unremitting efforts of everyone. The rope wrapped around the mother deer has been completely removed. The mother deer is set free. She quickly runs into the deep forest. When everyone is about to drive away, the mother deer brings her fawn back. The little fawn runs directly in front of the man, then kneels down again. He wants to thank the benefactor who saved his mother's life. This scene has moved everyone. It's true that every living being has a soul. All the love we give, regardless of far or near, will be returned to us. This is an unbelievable scene that happens in the wild. A horse isn't afraid of danger getting in the way of passers-by. After everyone knew the reason, they couldn't hold back their tears. Turns out there was a group of people riding horses out to explore recently. Out of the blue, a horse in the distance came running at a speed of 80 miles. Ran towards them. People riding horses thought he was doing something crazy. Unexpectedly, he went to the middle of the road, stood in front of them. At first, people thought he was attracted to mares, so they started taking turns convincing him. Poor country boys aren't worthy of city girls. Wherever you go, quickly return there. Don't dream of a toad eating a swan. But he didn't seem to be interested in the mares at all. He just stood there stupidly, refusing to leave. Perhaps he felt that people didn't understand his intentions. He acted even more mysteriously. He turned around and ran to a distance, then hurried back again. The horse ran back and forth several times, looked at his hasty appearance. The leader felt something wasn't right. The elders in the village say that the creatures blocking the way must have a reason. He speculated that this horse might have been in trouble and needed human help. So prepared to find out the reason for it. Sure enough, after seeing the person accompanying him, the horse just accelerated forward. When he realized that people couldn't keep up, he even stopped waiting for them. Thus he led the way forward. Everyone quickly followed. 10 minutes passed. He brought everyone to the front of the forest, then looked at everyone with profound eyes. Immediately rushed into the jungle. Everyone who saw this could only follow. The surrounding area was overgrown with weeds, so it was very difficult to move. But people still didn't give up. They also wanted to satisfy their curiosity and see what he led people here for. Very quickly everyone went through the forest to a small stream. Suddenly discovered a horse had fallen into a quagmire and couldn't move. Everyone then understood the reason the horse was blocking their way was because he wanted humans to save his friend. Everyone was touched by the horse's strong friendship. Although they couldn't use language to express their feelings like humans, they still had real actions to prove that animals also have feelings. This horse didn't know how long he had been in the quagmire. People didn't dare to delay. Immediately thought of a way. The first brother put a rope on him. Tried using this method to rescue the horse. But he underestimated the suction power of the mud. He had tried several times but failed. Everyone was also worried that they would injure the horse, so they could only temporarily change the strategy. The man took out a shovel and removed the mud around the horse. Then pulled the rope halfway down his back. This could disperse the pulling force to avoid injuring him once again. Then everyone pulled at the same time. They spared no effort to save the horse from the quagmire. He also seemed to know what people were trying to save him. His expression was very combined, constantly moving his body so that he could help reduce everyone's difficulty. This made the rescue very convenient. The horse was pulled out little by little from the quagmire, but his limbs were still stuck in the quagmire. The man used a wider rope to hold his butt. Then everyone shouted slogans at the same time to try to pull. Finally, after spending an hour of effort, they succeeded in saving the horse from the quagmire. Due to being stuck for hours, he soon lost all his strength. and could only lie in place and quietly recuperate. Kind people felt afraid he would get cold, especially got a blanket to cover him. If you watch to the end, let's stand together with honest helpers, and click like for the horse's intelligence. Also, don't hesitate to leave a blessing in the comments section. Win instant success, good people are safe. Wishing all the honest people in the world a peaceful life. Quickly look at the screen. An elephant hurriedly chases after the car. He chases and cries. Tries using this method to force the car to stop. But the driver doesn't stop the car. So what happens in the end? Turns out the day before, when the baby elephant and his mother were drinking water together by the lake, the mother elephant accidentally fell into a deep mud puddle. Couldn't stand up on her own. Looked at the mother elephant lying there barely alive. The smart baby elephant ran to the main road. Sought human help. He saw the car going ahead. So he chased after it like crazy. Because the mother elephant is in a precarious situation. But the driver thought that this baby elephant was playing with him. To avoid hurting the little elephant, he quickly accelerated. The baby elephant looked like he was going crazy trying to chase after him, and kept making cries of pain. If something unusual happens, there must be a cause. The young man driving the car suddenly felt it. Surely the baby elephant had encountered some difficulties. So he decided to follow him to investigate the situation. He slowly drove behind the baby elephant. The baby elephant walked away, then ran towards the mother elephant lying in the mud. Very quickly the group of young men came to the dry mud puddle. They were extremely surprised by the scene before their eyes. Half of a big elephant's body had sunk into the mud. If not rescued, then she would be forced to die here. It turned out the baby elephant chased their car, just to beg humans to save his mother. Looked at the mother elephant lying there, barely breathing. The group of young men quickly brought a thick rope. The plan is to pull the mother elephant out of the mud. They put a rope around the mother elephant's body. Then they joined forces to pull towards one side. Continuously pull the rope backward, as they faced this huge animal. Even though they tried their best, the mother elephant still lay motionless in the mud puddle. In the end, all their efforts failed. Afterward, these young men carried a piece of wood and placed it behind the mother elephant. They joined forces to pull the rope again. 2 other people moved the log, intended to use this method to save the mother elephant. They pulled up the huge elephant, but when they released the rope, it fell again. Because the mother elephant had been stuck here for hours. A thoughtful young man realized that she was hungry, so they kept feeding her food. Mother elephant ate her fill. Because of the hot weather, they were afraid the mother elephant might get heat stroke. So they brought water pipes to help her cool down her body temperature. Going through a rapid cool down process, the mother elephant's body gradually recovered to normal. At that moment, the group of young men continued to use force. Tried pulling the mother elephant up, but don't know why. The mother elephant fell again. She lay there motionless, looked like she was about to die. Seeing the pitiful mother elephant, the people quickly contacted the local veterinarian to find a way to keep her alive. Time gradually passed. The mother elephant also showed signs of life. She was eventually pulled back from the brink of life. Seeing this scene, we couldn't help but cry. It looked like the mother elephant was sick. They were forced to quickly take her to the hospital for treatment. They then contacted an excavator, intended to use the power of machines to save her. When the excavator slowly moved, the mother elephant was finally rescued from the mud. If you've seen this far and haven't left yet, then please leave a message of peace and luck. Hopefully, the mother elephant can safely overcome the danger to return and reunite with her baby. Maybe you've never seen a fox return the favor. He's here today. A fox, accidentally entangled in a rope wrapped on a tree stump, and is unable to move. Finally, a kind woman notices him. Then she tries to rescue the fox. Why the fox is stuck here, and how long he has been stuck, we only know that his hind leg is wrapped up by a small rope that causes him a wound. If the fox wasn't rescued by the woman, he must have died. Since foxes have never been in contact with humans, he seems hostile when the woman comes to help. But now he's very obedient. The woman also helps take the rope off the fox. She slowly and gently unties him, releases him from the rope. If your phone battery isn't too low, please pay a compliment for this kind sister. In the comment, someone wrote, "One good turn deserves another." It was she who gave the fox a second life. The fox ended up being successfully rescued. Because his hind leg was injured, the rescue worker brought him back to the animal shelter, took care of his injury, and would release him into the wild after he gets over it. As the fox is saved, he keeps looking at the rescue worker. He wants to remember his life savior so that he can return to repay the favor one day. After bringing the fox to the animal shelter, the staff quickly conducts a general checkup for him, while the woman carefully checks his hind legs to find out why he was wrapped up so tightly by the rope. If the animal's bones broke yet they weren't spotted and the animal returned into the wild, that would seriously affect their lives. If any serious injuries are detected, they will go in for an operation. After determining that there is no danger, the woman finally can rest assured. At night, the rescue worker brings the fox back into the wild. Please press a heart button for the kind people. It's truly unbelievable. After the mother rabbit takes her babies back to the den, she doesn't hesitate to bury them. But that's not over yet. She also uses her feet to pound the ground more firmly. But why does the mother rabbit do that? Let's continue watching the video to find out the reason for this strange action. The mother rabbit comes back after looking for food. She uses her front feet to dig the ground. Doesn't forget to look around. Very quickly, a little rabbit pokes his head out from the hole. When a black rabbit suddenly appears, the mother rabbit immediately turns around and leaves. She doesn't want to reveal her baby's hiding place. The baby rabbit also promptly pulls his head back inside. After the black rabbit arrives in front of the cave, he looks around. As a result, he fails to find anything, so he ends up leaving. Realizes there is no sound outside. The baby rabbit quickly crawls out to find his mother. At the moment, the mother rabbit also returns. She pulls the baby rabbit towards herself, planning to feed her baby rabbits. The other babies know that it's time to eat. More and more also crawl out of the burrow, trying to snuggle into their mother's belly to drink milk. What an unbelievable moment. Such a small cave contains so many rabbits. To avoid being detected by other animals, the mother rabbit can't feed them for too long. Baby rabbits take the opportunity to drink a little more milk from their mother, because after a while, they have to return to the cave. To our viewers, if you are watching this video, please leave your regards to these little bunnies in the comment section. I also wish you peace. May all that you do go smoothly. Time passes by. The mother rabbit has stopped breastfeeding. Even though her babies haven't eaten yet, they still know that feeding time is over. Then some baby rabbits begin to crawl back into the hole, while the remaining few refuse to enter. They seem curious about the outside world. But after all, rabbits are animals at the bottom of the food chain. Just a little mistake and they will become other animals' food. The mother rabbit keeps urging them. Her babies have no choice but to obey and go back into the hole. After all of them return to the cave, the mother rabbit start covering the mouth of the burrow, so that her babies can be safer. The mother rabbit also uses her feet to pound the ground more firmly. As the soil at the cave mouth is firm, the mother rabbit finally rests assured and guards outside the cave. I didn't expect the power of motherhood to be so great. A mother zebra thinks of her unborn baby. So, she goes to the only place that has water on the prairie to drink water. Then falls into a big puddle of mud and can't get out. Looking from afar, the mother zebra's entire body seems to be swallowed by the mud. Only her swollen abdomen can be seen, which shows that she's alive. After days, people finally notice her. Other zebra raises her head to look at them as if to express that, "Please save my baby." People immediately take the rope and tie it to the zebra's leg. Everyone pulls the rope together to help get the mother zebra out of the mud. If you are watching, feel free to comment. May you achieve instant success to cheer up the zebra mother and her baby. Everything you do will always go as smoothly as you want. But then, because she was tied up in the mud for so long, Mother Zebra has used up all her strength. So, she weakly falls to the ground with no signs of life left. People feel worried, so they try to shake the zebra. Of course, because of the baby in her belly, the mother zebra is still trying to support it. She has to stand up. But then the wound knocks her down. She faintly falls again. People bring some water. They want to use it to awaken the life energy inside the zebra. Someone pulls her tail to cheer her up. Maybe she can't let go of her unborn baby. Or maybe her heart still has the intense desire to live. The mother zebra finally stands up trembling. Thank you to the kind people for giving the zebra mother and her baby a second life. Good people will always lead a peaceful life. There's a myth about foxes returning to repay their saviors. A fox that has been living for 1,000 years and is about to become a celestial fox. Unfortunately, he gets stuck. Kind old man discovers him. The fox is a wild animal. He knows he has to be careful. So the man goes home and gets the tools. He then approaches the fox with a racket. The fox starts to struggle and uses his mouth to bite the racket. To avoid getting hurt, he asks a neighbor to help. With two people's cooperation, the fox is saved. Now they know he must have been stuck by a nail. There is a red stain on the nail. The man puts on gloves and checks if the fox is okay. He has many wounds on his body. To save the fox, the two of them take him to a veterinarian clinic. When the man puts him in his backpack, he doesn't struggle at all, as if he knows that they're helping him. The fox is a spiritual. Comment Good people always lead a peaceful life. And good luck to the fox and the old man. You will be safe and happy. After being treated, the fox quickly recovers. After a month, the man comes to pick him up. The outside world is his home. After the cage is opened, the fox suddenly hesitates. After a while, he disappears. Will their story come to an end? Unexpectedly, a few days later, when the man comes home, he can't help but be surprised to see a fox. He comes here to repay the man as promised. The fox also promises that whoever hits the like button for this video will soon achieve success. The sheep has been away from home for 6 years. They had to put effort to shake off his heavy wool. When people find him, the wool has covered the sheep's body. Only half of his face is revealed. We can tell that his wandering life these past few years has been extremely difficult. The sheep didn't want the owner to shave off his wool, so he decided to escape from the farm. The wrong choice made him live without support. At first, he had the will to be free, but now his life has turned into a mess. He can't even pay for a haircut. We heard that the local rescue team saved him from the cliffside. People guessed that the reason he wasn't eaten in the wild is probably because of his thick wool. Anyway, even he doesn't know how to deal with it. Right now, he looks like a walking blanket. To help him be a sheep again, the farm owner decides to free him from the burden he's carrying. But the heavy thick wool on his body makes it difficult for the sheep to move. They need the strength of 2 people to bring him down. Due to loss of balance, the sheep falls down. The other sheep look at him for a while, yet they fail to realize that he's also a sheep. Even the dog, which is introverted now, runs out to watch. At the moment, the sheep can't help but lower his head. He has lost his arrogance that year. Leading a wandering life for many years changes his appearance. The thick wool weighs heavily, making it difficult for the sheep to breathe. It's also not easy for him to see clearly. However, he finally gets home. The owner then shaves off all the wool to remove his burden. The amount of wool gradually accumulates and attaches to his body. The owner is old, so he can't help but feel exhausted when he does the work. Half an hour later, his head is finally revealed. The sheep was docile during the whole process. He just sits still and obediently enjoy this. Because the sheep's wool hasn't been shaved for 6 years, most of that has stuck together in large patches. His owner can only use scissors to cut them off. Then he continues by using the shaver. After 2 hours of shaving, the sheep finally gets rid of the heavy wool he has carried for 6 years. After pruning a few times, they shaved more than 35 kilograms of wool. It's hard to imagine how his life has been during these past years. In order to prevent the sheep from getting a cold after shaving, the owner gives him a new outfit, then brings him back to where he was 6 years ago. At the moment, the sheep is so hungry. Soon as he sees the grass, he begins to eat a lot. The wandering life makes his face imprinted with the traces of time. At the moment, he finally comes back home. Fresh grass is still the same taste. Every piece he eats, he can't help but feel so happy. Looking at the old house that is both familiar and unfamiliar to him, he starts thinking about his choice 6 years ago. The world outside is interesting. His eyes are filled with different memories. His baby face has also become wrinkled with time. In the herd of sheep, he looks so lonely. And he knows the reason. Time flows like water. The story of 6 years ago feels like it was just yesterday. But he soon ceased to be the sheep of the past. How great is the love of a mother elephant to save her calf who fell into the hole. The mother elephant doesn't hesitate to kneel in the deep hole. Against all odds, she tries to feed her baby. She has kneeled for 3 days and 2 nights. This scene takes everyone by surprise. The lifeguards there are also moved to tears. The deep love of a mother is buried in this hole. When the staff wants to help her stand up, she finds the mother elephant can't move her body. Turns out the elephant has run out of energy. After she spared no effort to protect her calf, her life is hanging by a thread. At the moment, the lifeguards have to act quickly. A big crane is brought to the scene, and is carefully used to help the mother elephant get out of the hole. But the mother elephant isn't breathing when she is rescued. No matter how hard the lifeguards try, she's just lying on the ground. As his mother lies there, the calf tries to crawl towards her. He screams loudly, as if he wanted to say, "Mom, don't leave me." But even if he tries his best, he can't crawl up that hole. Due to loss of strength, the baby elephant finally falls down. His cry of pain resounds around. He doesn't stop calling his mom. The calf really misses her. On the other side, the lifeguards are taking care of the mother elephant. Her heart has stopped beating. So, people have to perform CPR. They climb on the mother elephant and press hard on her chest. Although the lifeguards do their best to give her first aid, the mother elephant doesn't show signs of coming round. Even so, no one intends to give up on this great mother. Right now, it's pouring rain, which makes the already sad scene even more dreary. After a few minutes, the calf crawls out of the hole with everyone's help. He slowly runs to his mother, and is about to wake her up. At the same time, a staff is still performing CPR to save the calf's mother. But this tragic end is predetermined. No one wants to see the calf lose his mother. Moreover, they don't want to give up on his great mother. Perhaps everyone's prayers touched God's heart. The mother elephant gradually stands up. The miracles happen again. The lifeguard also burst into tears with joy. Everyone's hard work has finally paid off. The calf nestles in his mother to feel happiness and relief. After that, the mother elephant takes her baby back to the forest. She suddenly stops and looks at people, as if she wanted to extend her gratitude. Someone said, "All the love in the world is to meet each other." Yet the motherhood is the only difference. This is probably a testament to the mother's immense love. Finally, may all mothers be safe and healthy. Thank you for your support. This wild horse stood in front of the moving excavator. Wanted to force the driver to stop the car. Some minutes ago, the guy driving the excavator was walking on the grass. Two wild horses suddenly chased after him. One of them even ran up to block the car. Another one was looking worriedly into the distance. Saw the unusual actions of the two horses. The driver stopped the car and followed them. Soon he discovered a wild horse lying on the ground. The horse's hind hoof was entangled in the steel wire and could not move. He was almost exhausted now and just opened his eyes slightly. Lying on the ground, barely breathing. Now everyone understands. The reason why the two horses took the risk of stopping the carriage was to beg humans to come save his friend. What smart horses they are. The guy decided to rescue this poor wild horse. He took a pair of pliers from the car, cut each steel wire hooked to the horse's leg. Do a good deed of immeasurable merit. Let's recite together the phrase, win instant success. To wish the wild horse a successful escape. People sitting in front of the screen. Together with all the good people in this world, the future will be favorable and peaceful. Everything is as desired. Even when the tool wasn't too convenient, the guy still worked patiently. By constant efforts, finally, he cut off all the steel wires attached to this wild horse's leg. Everyone joined forces to pull this pile of steel wires out into the distance. But because the horse had been stuck for so long, everyone tried to help him up. After continuously pushing twice, the horse still couldn't stand up successfully. The boy brought clean water to replenish the horse's water. The horse was probably very thirsty. He opened his mouth and gulped down. After resting for a while longer, the horse's physical strength had recovered. Finally, he was able to stand up. But the horse didn't leave immediately. He just hangs around nearby, even though he doesn't know how to talk. He tries to use continuous nodding to extend his gratitude to his benefactor. Finally, the kind guy even encouraged everyone to clean up the surrounding steel wire. Only when they had finished did they leave the scene. Thank you to the kind people who participated in rescuing the wild horse. Wishing good people a lifetime of peace. After the man picked up the trash can, he suddenly found two cute baby otters inside. He's so lucky. This is the kind of pet that many people want to keep but can't. Yet he was able to pick up even a duo of otters. The baby otters felt extremely scared when they were discovered. Their fearful eyes could be an inspiration for a meme too. Seeing the man keep caressing him, one of the baby otters quickly backed away to dodge. The man picked him up, which scared the otter to the point that he stiffened. Still, he looked so cute when crouching his head down. The man said this larger baby otter was a male, and this smaller one was a female. So, it's understandable that she was lighter than him. But the little otter was clearly malnourished. If you put them close, you can tell the difference. After bringing the otters back home, the man wanted to measure their weight. First, he got the bigger otter out. Moreover, he didn't forget to prove that this one was actually a male. The man's actions made the otter angry. His face couldn't hide his hatred. If you want to measure my weight, do it properly. What's wrong with your hands? Why do you keep touching me? Eventually, the result showed that he weighed 557 grams. The man then took the smaller otter out. Her eyes were still the same as the male otter. When you look at her, you know she hates the man. After placing the baby otter on the scale, her weight was measured at 370 grams. Nearly 200 grams lighter than her older brother. The man felt worried that she might be malnourished. So, he rushed to get some milk powder for the puppies. Then poured that into the blender, and put in a handful of seeds. The last step was to pour some water. Then closed the lid and pureed. That's how a full glass of protein came out. After the baby otter took a sip, she got extremely excited. And kept looking for bottle nipple. She must have been so hungry, and looked so cute even when she was just drinking milk. Her little hand didn't stop reaching for the milk bottle. When it comes to her brother's turn, he was even more hilarious than his younger sister. His trembling little hands proved how hungry he felt. He drank up the milk in the blink of an eye. After the man took the milk bottle away, it seemed that the baby otter hadn't drunk his fill. He constantly looked for another milk bottle. The man then squeezed out every last drop for him to drink. After being taken care of for a few days, the baby otters have become fully dependent on the man. Being two adorable otters, they know that if they don't know how to swim, they won't gain respect from the man. So, the man made a swimming pool in the yard, and poured water inside. Then he used his feet to check the water's temperature. Eventually, he hugged the otters outside. Under the man's meticulous care, the duo doesn't hate him anymore. Instead, they become joined at the hip just like the Super Glue 502. Wherever he goes, they follow. The way they run and jump is so cute. The man puts one otter in the pool first. The baby otter is bewildered for a moment. This is their first time in the water, and is also an amazing experience. They gradually get used to the water. The man then throws down a ball, making the two baby otters excited. They have so much fun that they forget to go home. The man wants to let them practice their skills in the water. So, he goes to catch some baby fish. He plans to use them and train baby otters in survival skills. One day, they will grow up and have to go back into the wild. It's important for them to have survival skills. The man pours the fry into the pool. Yet that doesn't draw the attention of the two otters. The fry has already swum 100 laps in the pool, which these two don't realize. After nearly an hour, the otter catches a small fry but doesn't eat it. Don't they know this can be eaten? The man picks up a fry and puts it right in her mouth. After the baby otter tries to chew it, she ends up spitting the fry out. They probably don't like to eat this kind of food. Obviously, we are at the age of drinking powdered milk. Why do you keep making us eat fry? How can we digest it? Wanting to release them back into the wild is a good thing. But the man can't be in such a hurry. After all, they're still babies. In the dry riverbed, a baby hippo doesn't stop struggling. He tries to compete against the fish to get the little source of water. But the water keeps evaporating. The baby hippo is dying. Because it hasn't rained for a long time. The water nearby has all dried up. His mother hippo left him here to seek his source of water alone. Although the mother hippo doesn't know if he can find some water. There is not much water here, but that's enough for the baby hippo to survive in a short time. But the evaporation rate of river water is faster than imagined. Within just a few days, there's only a puddle of mud left. If that continues, the baby hippo won't survive longer. Luckily, the patrol officer notices him. He quickly contacts the headquarters to send people to help. Getting informed, aid workers quickly come by helicopters. After a few hours flight, the relief team has finally arrived. As the aid workers turn up and see the baby hippo is full of mud, they find it unbelievable since hippos live in herds. In such a big river, how can the baby hippo keep swimming back and forth in the riverbed and fight against the fish to get his source of water? The aid workers quickly deploy the rescue. After they pull the baby hippo out of the mud, the aid workers use a net to catch the baby hippo. They team up to grab him, then inject him with anesthetic. They drag him over to the side of the helicopter. Being exposed to the sun for a long time, the baby hippo's skin was seriously burned. The aid workers take out a blanket and wrap him up. They also water him to reduce his body heat. Then the aid workers put him in a big box. At the same time, they attach the box to the helicopter. The helicopter slowly takes off. He will be taken to a relief station over 100 kilometers away. For a general checkup, the baby hippo is quickly taken to the relief station. Before he learns how to live independently, this place is his home. After the baby hippo arrives at the relief station, he is curious about everything. He can't stop looking around. The aid workers wash the mud off of him, then take him to the lake. The comfortable water temperature makes the baby hippo happy. As for the staff, they also take good care of the baby hippo. Because there are a lot of aid workers, the baby hippo successfully gets out of danger. Let's give a like to these kind-hearted relief workers. May they lead a happy life. There are so many good people, which makes us feel this world is full of love. Look, this adult deer is so pitiful. His horn was tied tightly to a wooden stake by a rope. At that moment, the elk continued to struggle, but he still failed to get out. If he wasn't detected by humans, he would starve to death here. Fortunately, while this deer was desperate and helpless, he was discovered by a man on a farm. Saw the man approaching. The deer became even more scared. Because he didn't know, would this person hurt him? He could only keep struggling. The guy knew that he alone wouldn't be able to save the deer, so he called his father. At that moment, the elk again failed to move. Due to constant struggling, the two father and son quickly deployed aid. They used scissors and carefully cut the mesh wire on the horns of the elk. Perhaps this time the elk also felt that these kind people were helping him, not wanting to harm him, so he didn't struggle anymore. He tried to coordinate with their help. Everyone knows that deer are considered gods in this country. They are the symbol of living long and healthy. If your family members are lucky enough to see this video, tell them to please leave a heart button and comment below, so in the coming days, you will definitely be healthy and live a long life. Everything goes as planned, because there were too many mesh wires wrapped around the antlers. The young man failed to rescue the elk in a short time. Suddenly the elk began to struggle. Perhaps the elk wanted to see his wife and children at home. He hadn't come back for a long time. He was afraid that his wife and children might be worried, so he tried his best to escape the rope. But the young man didn't give up the rescue. They waited for the deer to slowly calm down, and continued to do their work. Fortunately, the deer met a kind father and son. If he encountered a fearsome hunter, the consequences would be terrible. Every day doing a good deed will earn you 3,000 merits. With the efforts of the two father and son, they managed to untie the elk's rope. At that moment, the frightened elk also used all his strength to run back into the forest. Heaven and earth have love. Humans also have love. This is the end of the video. Let us praise the good father and son. Good people will have a peaceful life. In the video, a horse's head is facing down. His whole body is stuck in the middle of the rock. We can imagine how much he has suffered from the hunger and pain in the rainy weather. Luckily, he is found by a solo traveler. The kind man realizes he is in danger, so he quickly takes out the rope from his car, wants to use it to pull the rock out and save the horse. After fastening the rope, the man notices that the direction the rock will fall down is towards his car. To prevent himself and the car from being affected, he has to find another way. The stranded horse sees a human appear. He lets out a cry for help. He really wants to get rid of this pain. In this harsh situation, not only does the horse suffer from the scorching heat of the sun, but he also has to endure the torment of hunger and the cold wind blowing at night. If he didn't meet this man, he would starve to death. The man comes in front of the horse, estimates the weight of the rock, and intends to use his strength to remove it. If you are watching him trying to save the horse, and you haven't gone yet, then please give him a heart button to cheer the horse on, and leave. May you have instant success in the comments. I believe that in the future, you will achieve success. Everything goes well, thanks to his persistent efforts. The rock is finally removed. He spares no effort to push the rock out. The horse that has been pressed for a long time is free from the burden. Although he is very weak, he still stands up instinctively. The horse just stands in place and doesn't leave, quietly looking at his life savior. Even though he can't speak, he will forever remember the man for saving his life. All beings have souls. A small deer is running towards humans. Immediately after that, he kneels on the ground. What happens in the end? To make the deer stop him on the road regardless of his safety? He slowly lowers his body and looks to one side, as if trying to express that there's something over there that needs the guy's help. The ancients had a saying that if a creature stands in the way, it is not a matter of gratitude, but of thanks. Sees the deer acting strangely, the man decides to follow him to investigate clearly. When he follows the deer to the frozen lake, he feels surprised to discover two deer lying on the ice. Looking closely, he realizes that a female deer and a male deer fell into the icy lake. It turned out that the young deer had disregarded his safety to stop the young man, because he wanted him to save his trapped parents. The man is moved by that love and goes to the lake to help. But the male deer seems scared. He keeps running away into the icy lake. The man can only save the female deer first. 5 minutes later, he successfully rescues the female deer. For safety, he carefully pushes the doe back to shore. After getting ashore, he gives the female deer a strong push. But since she soaked in the water for hours, the deer has to spend a lot of strength to stand up. The rescued female deer quickly runs back to the forest. Perhaps she wants to find her child. But the male deer isn't very coordinated, so the man has to think of another way. Half an hour later, the man calls his friend to help. They dug a path on the ice, then slowly pulled the male deer to shore. Under their tireless efforts, the male deer is finally rescued. Due to being stuck in cold water for too long, his body gets so cold that he faints. The kind guy keeps massaging his body. Hope it helps him feel a little warmer. But the male deer still shows no signs of waking up. The guy has to build a fire next to him. Hope he can help the deer wake up quickly. Another guy kneels to help him massage the deer's frozen leg. About 20 minutes later, the male deer finally wakes up. But he feels so cold, so he fails to stand up. The kind-hearted guy can't bear to leave him alone, so he uses a car to tow him home for treatment. After returning home, he continues to help the deer exercise his legs. Waits until his body becomes a little softer. He brings food to feed him so that the deer will replenish his strength. Under their attentive care all night long, the male deer gradually regains his energy and can sit up on his own. Early the next morning, the young man opens the door. The male deer quickly runs towards the forest, goes looking for his wife and son. But a week later, the male deer comes to the man's house again. He stands there looking at the young man. Next, a miraculous scene happens. He jumps around and leaves one of his horns behind. Then he looks at the man as if saying, "This horn is given to you." The deer knows that humans really like deer horns. After leaving behind a horn, he decides to leave. The man also feels very surprised as he holds the deer's horn. He didn't expect the deer would use this way to thank him. A bear cub suddenly bursts into the farm. He chases after people asking for food. As a true social butterfly, locals and their dogs are all curious about the uninvited guest. Baby Bear doesn't feel shy even a bit. "I'm already here, so I will perform something interesting for you." But he can't pick up the broom. The bear cub rolls on the ground for a while, but can't show off anything, and ends up hitting himself. The cub looks stupid yet super cute. Seeing everyone just standing there laughing makes him get on his nerves. He probably wants them to feed him. However, no one reacts to him, so he has to steal some food from them. People say they have already fed him. The baby bear often comes here looking for food. Locals have gotten used to his appearance. He is a foodie, baby bear. He likes to eat boiled chicken and fish heads the most. The baby bear lives nearby, but always feels alone. They have never seen him with another bear. Also, no one knows where his parents have gone. One day, people found him pitiful, so decided to feed him. Since then, he keeps coming. But because he's so cute and easygoing, everyone loves the bear cub and treat him as part of the village. They call him Teddy. Even a dog can become his friend. They play with each other. Teddy is often bullied because he's small, but he doesn't get angry. He still plays with the dog. He wants to stay here, so he has to get on good terms with people and dogs around here. He's young, but he already knows how to treat people. When he meets everyone, he keeps on showing his happy facial expression. Looks so docile. His thoughtful personality trait makes many heartbreaking. But he's a bear. Sooner or later he will show his main characteristics. Even though people don't say. They know that they can only give him to the animal shelter. But this is in Russia. Will they be afraid of an adult bear? Teddy looks sad. If you don't have enough food to feed me, just say it and I will eat less. The uncle is surrounded by a pack of raccoons. Yesterday, a cute raccoon came to visit his house. So, the uncle gave him a sausage. Unexpectedly, a gaze of raccoons gathers to knock on his door the next night. He looks out and only sees a large black patch. Can't count how many raccoons are outside the door. The uncle is about to take the grapes that he bought in the morning to give them. Within 2 minutes, they have finished the barrel of grapes. 2 raccoons in the gaze are still fighting for a grape. They gather to this place so as to eat the uncle's food. To make sure the raccoons will be on a full stomach, the uncle even prepares a box of sausages for them to eat. The raccoons, seeing the food in the uncle's hand, immediately flock to them. At a glance, there are more than 30 raccoons in the gaze. Good job. They aren't bringing their whole family to scrounge a free meal off him, are they? They eagerly line up to wait for the uncle to deliver the sausages. As soon as they receive the food, they immediately run over to enjoy it. The raccoons are also polite. They all line up in order to wait for the uncle's food. At the moment, the uncle can't help but feel happy. He has lived in the mountains for decades. Then suddenly a raccoon came to visit, making him witness such a hilarious scene for the first time. He quickly divides all the sausages. But the raccoons are still not satisfied. It seems that they still want some more. The uncle decides to give these raccoons a square meal. He treats them all the cherry tomatoes from his refrigerator. But these are just enough for raccoons to floss their teeth. In the blink of an eye, there is nothing left on the floor. At the moment, the uncle comes out again. These sausages are my entire property. The raccoons stare at the sausage in the uncle's hand. He hasn't sat down yet. The raccoons suddenly surround him again. The uncle divides the sausages one by one for them. He doesn't even know where these raccoons come from. It's also rare to see one on normal days. Do they gather to celebrate Tet today? The raccoon in the back constantly touches the uncle's shoulder. Don't just divide them. I've been waiting here for so long and where's my part? The uncle hurriedly gives him one. The mischievous raccoon finally gets the sausage he wants. It only took 5 minutes for all the sausages to be divided. The uncle said it was time for them to go home. But the raccoons think that the uncle came in to get food. They keep waiting for him outside the door. Half an hour has passed, as if in the blink of an eye. But the raccoons don't leave. The uncle has to bring out a box of cookies. Seeing delicious food, the raccoons immediately cheer up. The uncle pours the cookies on the ground. The raccoons are still not picky. We can't know how long they've been hungry. Afraid of the raccoons not eating enough, the uncle takes the remaining cat food in the house and divides it among the raccoons. That's probably enough, right? If it's not enough, he'll give up. Please comment if you find raccoons cute. The raccoons all ate their fill. They think they have found a source of food supply for them in the future. But the cat in the house is not happy. He stands still looking at his food outside the door. You gave them all my food. So, what can I eat now? Thinking of this, the pitiful cat lowers his head. The uncle returns and comforts him. Tomorrow I will go buy paid for you to eat. After hearing that, the cat only shakes his head and turns away. His angry look is so funny. The cat seems to be still annoyed. He angrily paces up and down the kitchen. Although the cat in the house isn't in the mood. Today is the uncle's happiest day. Please hit the like button for the kind uncle. Hope you can spend more time with the elderly. Animal protection is a topic that is never out of date. This short-tailed weasel is curious to see the outside world. Her little ruffled head looks so cute. The man holds her with his hand. The weasel even knows to rub her head in the man's hand. She probably looks upon the man as her mother. Where did this weasel come from? While the man was climbing a mountain, he came across a short-tailed weasel. She was abandoned by her mother. When the man found her, her eyes haven't opened yet. The man named the weasel Whisper. In order to save Whisper, every day he will feed her once every 3 hours. Using a syringe, the little weasel lies nicely in his arms, just like a fluffy baby, which melts everyone's heart. To make sure he can save her life, the man takes care of the weasel round the clock. His work requires so much patience and carefulness. He carefully wipes the weasel's mouth after feeding her with milk. Whisper grows fast. A week later, she opens one eye. Whisper now gets used to being in the palm of the man's hand. She loves lying in such a warm place. The man says she grew really fast. However, she should have her own nest. So, he knits a sleeping bag for Whisper. In that warm sleeping bag, she can have a better sleep. Until the 7th week, she finally has opened both eyes, and begins to be curious about the outside world. The man told her, she's still a little girl, yet she's growing, so, he should give her personal space. He's truly a responsible father. He has already looked upon Whisper as his own daughter. He really loves her. How cute. However, as the weasel is growing, the man thinks he should move her to a separate room. This little bag is her nest. He puts the bag inside the glass cabinet. This is her personal space. From now on, she will live here. Whisper starts exploring everything around her. She's really inquisitive. She also has some small toys with her. The weasel quickly adapts to her surroundings. She becomes playful. Just look at her bewildered expression. What an adorable weasel. The man comes across another abandoned short-tailed weasel again. Whisper now has a friend. They're looking at each other. It was a bit awkward at first, but they soon get along. At the moment, Whisper is already a 9-week-old weasel. Her look has changed a lot. She also becomes more active than before. The day when the man lets her go is getting closer and closer. But that doesn't mean just releasing her. The first thing to do is to leave her in a safe place, gradually adapting to the outside world. This place is a model habitat for short-tailed weasels. She lies nicely in the man's hand. Then he puts her in a small box. He firmly believes the weasel will stay here. Begin her preliminary adaptation training. It seems that she feels unfamiliar with this place. Whisper and her friend explore everywhere. As his daughter grows up, the man can't put her in his hand. Like the old days, he has to stay away from his babies, so as to enhance short-tailed weasels' vigilance over humans. This is the most important thing when releasing animals. The two weasels start looking for food. This place is quite safe. After a few days of adaptation, they become more confident and might get used to the outside world. The man took away her sleeping bag and replaced it with a nest made of straw. In the coming days, don't think about sleeping with blankets, kids. Life is getting harder and harder. After a month, the man opens the door. The weasels can go back to their natural world and enjoy their true freedom, even though he doesn't want to leave them. He has to do this for his babies. Unexpectedly, Whisper loves his house so much. She returns only after 2 months of being released. Whisper even comes to the back of his house to play. She also doesn't want to leave the man. The man finally allows the weasels to come here whenever they want. This is always your home. A hungry fox hugs a girl's leg to ask for some food. This is the first time the girl has met a fox. She unconsciously reaches out and strokes him. This makes the fox even more enjoyable. The girl says she wants to take him home and give him food. The fox can't help but smile happily. The next day, he brings the whole family to catch a free meal from the girl. The girl immediately takes out the chicken eggs to treat them. Instead of jostling, they all line up neatly. The big brother of the fox family just meets a human for the first time. So, he's a bit embarrassed. The fox thinks the girl isn't paying attention, so he runs up again to ask for food. The big brother finally musters up the courage to step forward and say thank you to the kind girl. The most beautiful baby in the family is a white fox. After getting the food, she doesn't forget to thank the girl. It's surprising that foxes can express their gratitude too. From then on, the whole fox family has stayed here. Their laugh is also entertaining, which can capture the hearts of many. The girl also expresses that she is very lucky. A koala bursts into the house, but right now, there's a girl bathing in the pool. The girl looks at the koala, being confused. Seeing him looking at her, the girl shyly lowers herself into the pool. Anyway, this is a private swimming pool. The girl doesn't even know what to do. But apparently, the cute koala doesn't mean anything bad. As the girl boldly goes to say hello to him, she realizes he just wants to drink water. So, she slaps some water on him. Because he can't drink much, she immediately uses both hands to collect water and give it to him. Eventually, the koala drinks up the water she gave him. Now she understands why he broke into this place. He only raises his head when he gets enough water. The girl also laughs happily. She doesn't expect the koala that broke into her house to be this cute. The girl enthusiastically responds to him. After that, she wraps a towel around her waist, and once again goes to say hello to the koala. Unexpectedly, the koala is attracted to the girl's beauty, while the girl politely interacts with him. Seeing the cute koala, the beautiful girl can't help but caress his head. The koala is docile and doesn't move at all. It looks like his outing has an unexpected harvest. That is to be able to meet such a kind person. Then he starts to act cute, and almost kisses the girl. Even the editor doesn't dare to keep on watching them. The koala is so happy. Being stroked makes him shy. The koala may look calm on the outside, but in fact, he is in 7th heaven. His bewildered look is so cute. If you think the girl is kind, please comment below. It's almost time to eat. The baby koala has to go home now. He doesn't pick the main road. Instead, he goes on the mountain road. Thunker woke up from his dream, yet he had 4 eyes looking at each other with a leopard. 30 minutes ago, Thunker started to get sleepy. He fell asleep feeling so happy, but suddenly his head felt strangely warm, as if he was sleeping on a temperature-adjusting pillow. Thunker seemed to figure out it was a leopard. That's why he didn't dare move. At that moment, his life hung in the balance. But luckily the leopard stayed up late last night, so he didn't pay any attention to Thunker. Otherwise, he would have eaten the man to the bone. In fact, the leopard was just looking for a place to sleep. So he just focused on sleeping. Funker was a bit scared now. He still tried to act like it was okay. Because if the leopard woke up, then there would be no escape for him to get out of this room. Funker seemed to understand everything about the leopards. So he remained motionless, as if waiting for the leopard to wake up on his own. The only thing he could do now was to pray. Although Funker looked so calm, there was already an undercurrent in his heart. The man kept on mumbling his prayers. At the same time, he also pulled out his phone to save himself. By trying to send photos to his friends, then there might be a chance of survival. The leopard here was still sleeping soundly, but the sound of his breathing still scared Funker to death. Very quickly, Funker also sent a signal for help. He always tried not to breathe heavily, then waited for the leopard to wake up on his own. That way, a bloody storm would be avoided. Funker today had a warm leopard pillow. Well, a true leopard pillow, as you can see. If Funker got out alive, he could tell this story for the rest of his life. But how soundly did this leopard sleep? Depended on how fast the prayer in Funker's mouth was said. There was only one hope for this matter. That was within minutes of praying. He had already fallen asleep with the leopard. Yes, that's right, Funker slept with the leopard, but it was clear that both of them had fallen into the same dream. Just like that, they both slept together for almost an hour. Then suddenly he woke up again. The leopard licked the sparse hair on Funker's head. You must know that the leopard's habit before killing their prey is similar to this. Just afraid of the next second, the leopard would open his mouth and grab a piece of Funker's head. But Funker was not afraid at this time, even actively petting the leopard. Perhaps at that moment, the two sides reached an agreement, and Funker ended up sleeping with this leopard pillow, while the leopard probably tried to treat Funker like a hearty breakfast. Was that breakfast probably brain tofu? The cougar woke up from a nightmare. Because she was so hungry, she treated her master's arm like a pig's hoof. The cougar started licking, then looked at her owner's palm. Again she had the feeling of wanting to take a bite. Perhaps the cougar wanted to eat the braised pig's head. She began to rub against the owner's mouth and nose. Her name is Kelly. His owner asked if she was hungry. She just grinned. Kelly has a very odd habit. She likes to crawl into her owner's armpit and smell it, which was said to cure Kelly's insomnia. Kelly loves demolition like Husky. Anyway, she is a fierce beast. How can she not use her impressive strength? His owner has to hug and kiss her after work every day. So much so that his wife is jealous of Kelly. A few days ago this man bought fish to take home. He wanted to brush Kelly's teeth, then put the fish in the bathtub, to test the cougar's fishing skills. The unexpected thing was, Kelly has lost her hunting instincts. Catching a fish is still a little scary to her. Her skills were even worse than a house cat. Looked at her. Her female owner could only sigh. All day she just lies down and waits for food. The cougar is about to turn into a pig. Having her is not as good as owning a dog. Kelly comes closer. She hesitates for a moment, then touches it with the claw. The fish didn't react. Finally, the cougar enters the water. Kelly dives into the water and tries to bite the fish, but she then gives up immediately. It doesn't seem very delicious. The owner's biggest fear is giving Kelly medicine. Recently, he came up with a way to put medicine in the meat. That's a great idea. Plus, Kelly is a simple girl. She can eat delicious meat at the same time take medicine. Before, he always had to use tools to give the cougar medicine. Kelly is relatively cooperative, but sometimes she spits it out. Sometimes she keeps it in her mouth. When the owner isn't paying attention, she vomits. So the owner must check again. Kelly is not stupid. She definitely refuses to open her mouth. In the end, there is no other way but to swallow. Mistress says Kelly is like her husband's little lover. She lies next to him, looks gentle and very feminine. The female owner often jokes that, "I'm not as feminine as a cougar. My husband was robbed." Kelly is gentle like water. She lays quietly next to the male owner. They look like a couple in love. She also doesn't go anywhere to play. She can read books with him for a few hours. Even his wife can't do that. The owner comes across a leopard. He wants his pet and the leopard to get to know each other. As a result, Kelly runs away again. The leopard is stunned, then falls to the ground laughing. "Your name is so fierce. How can you be so cowardly?" This is a steep cliff, 20 to 30 meters tall, and its slope is up to 80 to 90 degrees. A black goat gets stuck on the ridge of the cliff. In this difficult situation, once you fall, there's definitely no way out. According to the people around, the black goat has been stuck there for 10 days. Because the goat has a unique texture of the hooves, so, she often climbs up and down, and even live on cliffs. The rescue team assumes, if she's living on that cliff. But this assumption is quickly disproved. Because if she lives like this, she can't stay up there for 10 days in a row. And it seems that the black goat is slowly moving, with the desire to get out of this place. Yet she retreats before he can take 2 steps. The space under her feet is too small. She can't sit down to rest. On the opposite cliff, there are her companions. She screams, hope to get some help from her friends. The goat's friends hear her. They quickly run down, but the cliff is too steep. They can't do anything, apart from seeing the goat in trouble from afar. The doctor says, looking up from this angle, he can see that the goat's belly has swollen. It's highly likely that she's pregnant. Rescuers begin the rescue. The plan is to start from above, and gradually go down to the goat's position. Then puts him in the grid. Also, to prevent the goat from falling, they spread some tarps on the bottom. Everything is ready. Rescuers slowly slide down, but the net suddenly breaks. The goat falls down the mountain, from a height of about 20 meters. She doesn't fall on the thick mattress, but luckily, the net holds her. Then the vet gives her a checkup right away. Her heartbeat and breathing are normal. To verify the vet's original conjecture, they quickly examine the goat's womb. Indeed, there are signs of having a baby goat, standing there for 10 days without eating or drinking. So, she just lies motionless. Her pulse is weak. The vet says she looks fine, but still needs another checkup. They give the goat water to drink, then take her back to the hospital for a careful examination. Through the ultrasonic screen, they can see the baby goat in her womb. The doctor informs them that she has 2 baby goats now, and is about to give birth. The baby goat's condition is stable. The doctor then examines thoroughly both the mother and her baby goats again. They are all safe. The doctor thinks it's a miracle that both the mother goat and her baby goats are safe, because when examining the mother goat's womb, he finds it empty, stuck on a cliff without eating, and had no place to move and rest. But the mother goat still tried to survive even when she didn't eat or drink for 10 days. Because of her babies, motherhood is truly great. After a few days of treatment, the black goat has fully recovered. Today is the day she returns to the wild. Her home is still that hillside, and her friends are there too. As soon as people open the cage, the black goat runs to her friends. They have been waiting for her for a long time. The man watches the goat's happy reunion from afar, then expresses that rescuing this pregnant mother goat is the most meaningful thing he has ever done in his life. A group of people are pulling an elephant's teeth. One man holds a saw blade diligently working. The silent elephant lies there. Obviously, he was drugged. Can you believe they are treating the elephant? This elephant has tooth decay. His toothache has been extremely serious. Furthermore, the elephant's teeth were infected. Can be said that the elephant is always in pain. So, they have to unleash their magic. Everyone decides to pull his teeth for him. They prepare tools, and start injecting him with anesthetics. A small tube of medicine like this is enough to put everyone here to sleep. But the elephant is able to hold on for a while and then fall down. It's not easy to extract an elephant's tooth. The first is to adjust his posture. The man immediately removes the decayed tooth for him, then starts sawing the teeth into small pieces. Surely those of you who have had a tooth extraction know this feeling. Another man with a hammer comes over, then hit the elephant's teeth, while another man uses a saw blade. Because there was a serious infection, his teeth have begun to deform. The root part of the tooth is stuck, which makes it difficult for them to pull teeth out. People worked for an hour, but still can't move anything. The rescuers now face a difficult case in their careers. In the end, there is no other way. The man has to drill a small hole into the stuck part. Allow the inflamed area in the oral cavity to collapse. After the elephant woke up, he feels much better. He's also happy to eat food. Several months later, the man is ready to finish work, to conduct tooth extraction for the elephant. Fortunately, the tooth is now loose. First, he uses a drill to drill the cavity of the tooth. Just looking at it makes me feel pain. The uncle then tries his best to pull the teeth out, so tired that his hair turns gray. Finally, they got the tooth pulled out. So, what can the extracted tooth be used for? Is there such a cruel mother in this world? Even though there is a lot of milk, she never lets her baby drink it. When moving, the lion cub cannot keep up with the herd. The mother lion still doesn't wait for him. At the moment, the wild dog was staring at the lion cub, who doesn't get his mother's love. It was not easy to keep up with the herd, and he is now very hungry. In order to survive, the lion cub begs his mother for food. But before he arrived, he was estranged, watching other brothers and sisters drink milk. Even if you are a child born to a mother, why are you treated so differently? The intense hunger made the lion cub stand up and try again. He has been without nutrients for a long time, so it is difficult for him to move. I don't know how the lion cub perseveres through these days, seeing that he is about to successfully integrate into the milk-drinking herd. The mother lion suddenly stands up. Because she didn't want the lion cub to drink the milk, she angrily turns around and leaves. The lion cub has been rejected by his mother for so many times. Every time the lion cub wants to drink milk, mom will show her teeth to warn him. The other lion cubs can drink, but you cannot. The young lion is like a child who makes a mistake. Loneliness and helplessness filled his childhood. To be able to live, the little lion can only drink muddy water every day. A fierce tiger doesn't eat her child, so why would his mother do that to him? However, this was the mother's wrong choice. From then on, the tiger cub's destiny will change. Not long ago, the mother lion gave birth to a litter of lions. The other lion cubs are all healthy and live happily. plus receiving love and pampering from mother. These lion cubs are raised by their mother to be plump. Their lives are so carefree. Only one lion cub did not receive God's favor. He is a lion with a congenitally disabled paw. Even walking is very difficult. Despite the fact that his body has defects, he still longs for a happy childhood. The young lion prepares to find his brothers and sisters to play. However, his siblings did not look at him. Everyone hates him, and felt that playing with him would be embarrassing. His mother also didn't even talk to him more than a word. She just stared at the isolated lion cub. In the animal world, it's like survival of the fittest. There are many animals that let their children live. They will prioritize feeding healthy babies with breast milk. It is natural for a lion cub to have a birth defect and be thrown away by his own mother. Who was to blame when he was born disabled? Even so, the lion cub was not defeated. To move faster, he often takes advantage of everyone's breaks to practice walking. The lions can hunt other animals to feed their stomachs. They need to keep moving with other animals. The long hours of walking combined with his disabled leg made him quickly lose the group. Not long after, what we can see is just the lion cub's lonely silhouette. Faced with the cruel reality, he cannot give up. He relied on everyone's footsteps and smell to continue walking. Finally, before sunset, he caught up with everyone. That time, his mother did not encourage him at all. Even his brothers and sisters also saw him as heir. The lion cub is used to this. But the lions did not wait for the disabled lion cub to recover. They start a new journey again. Summer in Africa is extremely hot. A long period of malnutrition made the lion cub unable to cope. He walked on the road and started to wobble. If not promptly supplemented with water and nutrients, the lion cub will die from dehydration. Look at the other brothers and sisters who can run and jump freely. The lion cub's eyes were filled with admiration and helplessness. Perhaps fate is sometimes so unfair. If a young lion wants to live, he needs to persevere. The lion cub's persistent efforts were not in vain. Once again, he kept up with the herd. Seeing other siblings drinking milk, he did not hesitate to try his luck. But as everyone knows the result, his mother turned around and left. The mother was determined not to let the lion cub drink milk. Hunger tormented the lion cub's entire body. The little lion didn't understand why his mother treated him like that. Does being born with a disability mean you can't live? He repeatedly hoped that his mother would love him a little. Even if that love is just 1/10 the amount of love his brothers and sisters get, he's still content. But the lion cub was not discouraged. He adjusted his mood and started the journey again. Soon they reached a water source. The little lion looked at everyone with their mouths open to drink the sweet stream. At that moment he felt even more hungry. He impatiently stood around on the shore, because the slope ahead blocked his way. Once the lion cub accidentally falls into the water, he will immediately become a crocodile's dinner. But to live, he has no other choice. The cub could only prepare to climb down in fear. Because he knew his mother wouldn't take care of him, he must think of a way to drink water so that he can have a chance to live. Suddenly the mother lion roared at the lion cub, telling her child there is danger down there. When the lion cub's life was threatened, the mother lion softened her heart. At a moment's notice, she ran to him, then sucks the baby and carries him to safety. This time, the lion cub kept drinking water. He seems to cover all previous debts, as he knows that he can only drink water to live. Watching other brothers and sisters drink milk, the young lion still persistently chose to come closer. But this time, the mother lion did not refuse. After many days, the lion cub was able to drink milk. He finally felt the long-lost maternal love, but the mother's time for the lion cub is not much. When the lion cub was still opening his mouth to drink milk, the mother lion turned around and left. The lion cub could only keep licking the remaining scent of milk. He is like a child that no one loves. This scene made everyone feel sorry. Other prides of lions began another journey. Malnutrition combined with disability. This makes it very difficult for the lion cub to walk. Every step requires using all one's strength. He endured the pain and dragged his tired body close behind. Yet he was quickly left behind. The young lion soon got used to this state. 124, 0 hours 4 minutes and 21 seconds, 420. Not long after, he caught up with the herd again. It seemed like they were waiting for this disabled lion cub. All the lions stopped. They began to wait for the lion cub. At this moment, the lion cub understands that he is not alone. He sped up towards the herd. Perhaps the lion cub's perseverance moved everyone. Finally, the lions accepted this baby who never gave up. Time passed. Not long after, the disabled lion cub grew up. He became the family's master hunter. The disabled lion also successfully reached puberty and became the leader of the clan. He leads the lions to own their territory. The disabled lion's experience also encourages each of us. Why can't our lives be like this lion? The road of life cannot be smooth sailing. Difficulties are inevitable. The more you face adversity, the more unable you are to give up on yourself. After all, what did the mother panda see? Which makes her treat her lovely daughter like that? This panda's name is Fuck Bao. The chubby panda hidden in her lap is her daughter, Hung Bao. Mom is grooming the daughter. The care worker reveals that Hung Bao is more than a month old. Now she looks exactly like her mother. Thanks to the mother's care, the older the baby panda gets, the more adorable she becomes. Even though this is her first time being a mother. But Fuck Bao has done very well. Fuck Bao is eating her meal with Hung Bao. They both eat their fill. They are very docile. After that, they decide to get a good night's sleep. The baby panda quickly falls asleep in her mother's lap. Well, her sleeping position is too cute to handle. Hung Bao's physical growth speed is extremely fast. Also, the dark circles under her eyes gradually get bigger. Every day, she changes a little and it has been 100 days now. A general checkup must be conducted once for Hung Bao. The care staff directly takes Hung Bao away. Fuck Bao can't bear it at all. They start measuring Hung Bao's weight first. She already weighs 6 kilograms. Apparently, she has been eating so well. She is also higher now. In addition, her teeth have grown out. The 100-day baby panda is so cute. Normally, Hung Bao's favorite thing to do is playing a game with her mom. Watching two chubby pandas play with each other happily. The caring staff can't help but feel admirable. Normally, in addition to playing, Hung Bao has to practice walking. She learns to walk step by step without her mother's help. Sometimes she even does the splits. Hung Bao walks slowly from right to left. The care worker expresses that it's like taking care of his own child. Hopes that she grows quickly. The moment, the father panda is yawning outside. His name is Lac Bao. According to the staff, Lac Bao isn't allowed to meet Hung Bao. There aren't many chances for them to meet each other in the future. So, they can only set the screen for him to watch videos of his daughter's growth process. Due to their nature, pandas will attack their own babies, so they can't let him see his daughter face to face. Although just being able to see Hung Bao through the screen, Lac Bao feels very satisfied. Because his daughter is so adorable, and he hasn't met her since she was born. He really wants to call out her name even when he is surrounded by the railing. At the moment, it seems that Fuck Bao has seen something scary. She bites Hung Bao and runs right, even makes her daughter fall to the ground. Could it be that the father panda is the cause? The care staff feels worried. After a while, Fuck Bao has finally calmed down. She starts hugging Hung Bao to comfort this baby panda. Probably being a mother for the first time is too stressful for her. Hung Bao loves her mother very much. She doesn't criticize her mother at all. The care staff says they need to wait until their mood calms down. Then take the baby panda out to learn more about the outside world. First, arrangements must be made to ensure her safety. Lac Bao is watching his wife and daughter next door. It can be seen that the panda knows she is about to be taken out to play. She keeps pulling the door, looking forward to her first time being outside. Fuck Bao is quite calm, shows that it's not yet time. You have to eat your fill to have the energy to play. A moment later, the door opens. Let mom go first to find the way. All the toys have changed. Fuck Bao is trying to find the original vibes of her previous days. In the end, she still fails to stop the hunger. It's Hung Bao's first time going out, so she feels very cautious and careful. Everything is totally new to her. Mom can't help but pull her daughter out directly. Hung Bao slowly adapts to the life outside. She is having fun enjoying the bamboo and playing and walking with her mother. Lac Bao watches all these scenes. He can't help but feel extremely happy to see his wife and baby. Even though they can't live together, being able to see his daughter grow up makes him feel already satisfied.